everyone, it's Maki. The main mobile suit in the new alternative series Gundam 8 is the Gundam ZIRIUS. The high-grade gunpla has been released, revealing some of its background. So, what kind of mobile suit is it? The first chapter of Gundam 8 has been published, but the story is still full of mysteries. Let's examine the setting and analyze the story. In today's episode, I'll discuss spoilers from the first chapter of Gundam 8. If you want to avoid any pre-release information, you might want to skip this episode. Gundam 8 is a comic, not an anime. There hasn't been an announcement yet about an anime adaptation. However, since Gunpla was released when the story began, it's clear that Bandai is putting a lot of effort into this project. Gundam Unicorn was originally released as a novel only, but it was adapted into an anime after gaining popularity. There's a chance that Gundam 8 might also be turned into an anime someday. Before we get into the main topic, let me make a quick announcement. My channel accepts support through membership. For just 99 cents a month, you'll receive a name badge and comment stamps. Alright, let's begin the analysis. Alright, let's take a look at the official specifications for the Gundam ZIRIUS. It's a cutting-edge extrahistory activity mobile suit developed by the Eastern Corporation for the Deep Space Exploration Program, which was initiated by the international organization known as the Solar System Union. About 200 years ago, the remains of an unknown life form named Mother Sphere were discovered within Saturn's rings. Recent research has revealed that the Mother Sphere originated from beyond the solar system. Scientists believed that studying life capable of traveling between stars would contribute to humanity's further development and evolution. As a result, massive budgets and manpower were poured into the Deep Space Exploration Program. Since deep space is completely unknown to humanity, the extrahistory mobile suits needed to be highly versatile to handle unforeseen circumstances. After years of trials involving multiple companies, the ES series was ultimately selected. Its development concept is a next-generation all-purpose machine that fulfills humanity's dreams. Its most notable feature is the feather extension, mounted on its back. That's what we know so far about the official setting for the Gundam ZIRIUS. Its model number ES-001 suggests that the Gundam ZIRIUS is the first unit of the ES series. It is 18 meters tall. It weighs 38.8 tons. Its height is exactly the same as the original Gundams. The original was 43.4 tons, so the ZIRIUS is actually lighter, which is surprising. The feather extension on its back looks heavy, but it seems to be lightweight. Perhaps it's made from a special material. I bet many people are curious about the feather extension on its back. It looks like it's made of a mysterious crystal-like material. Apparently, this equipment isn't just for offense, it can also be used for defense and repairs. At the beginning of the first chapter, the heavily damaged Gundam ZIRIUS is shown. However, when the feather extension activates, something strange happens. Not only does the unit's feather extension react, but the ones scattered across the battlefield activate as well. They begin to repair the Gundam ZIRIUS's damage. It seems that the feather extension has the unique ability to manipulate atomic and molecular structures to repair machines. But why were feather extensions scattered all over the battlefield in the first place? Does that mean that allies of the Gundam ZIRIUS were present? We don't know the answer yet. The enemy that appears in Gundam 8 remains shrouded in mystery. It doesn't resemble a mobile suit. It has a monstrous, creature-like form. Based on the official descriptions released so far, could it be some kind of extraterrestrial life form? In the Gundam 00 movie, an alien life form called the Elves appeared. However, the Elves weren't inherently hostile. Thanks to the efforts of the 00 crew and Tau, humanity and the Elves were able to reach coexistence. Does the enemy in Gundam 8 have a different nature compared to the Elves? After watching Gundam 00, I often wondered what if humanity encountered an alien life form with a completely different nature than the Elves. The Elves were intelligent beings, even though they were different from humans. That's why communication was still possible with them. But what if we encountered an alien life form that couldn't be communicated with at all? This story might explore that kind of situation. The idea of a non-communicative alien life form reminds me of the space monsters from the anime Aim for the Top Gunbuster. That anime was produced by a studio called Gainax. Gainax is famous for creating the Evangelion series. The staff from Gainax later formed a new studio, Studio Color. As you probably know, Studio Color was responsible for producing GE Coax. There were actually quite a few moments in GE Coax that felt reminiscent of Aim for the Top Gunbuster. The space monsters in Aim for the Top Gunbuster were beings of unknown origin. The story speculates that they might perceive humanity as bacteria that emerged in the galaxy and are trying to wipe us out. They were like white blood cells, defending the body. Communication with these space monsters was impossible. What would happen if a Gundam encountered a Lin's form like that? I'm curious to see what kind of ending such a story would have. The enemy in Gundam 8 also has the ability to mimic the appearance of mobile suits. The Elves from Gundam 00 had a similar ability. They could imitate mobile suit forms too. Could it be the same kind of ability? However, when the protagonist Naomi Subaru defeats one of these enemies, he looks sorrowful. Perhaps the enemy had absorbed an ally. That might explain his reaction. The Gundam ZIRIUS has an alternate form called Lightweight Mode, in which its equipment is removed. This form hasn't appeared in the story yet. I'm looking forward to seeing what role the Gundam ZIRIUS will play from here on out. What exactly is the true nature of the enemy? I plan to continue cheering for Gundam 8 on my channel. Thanks so much for watching until the end. See you in the next episode.